Jason, today's episode of the Lee Summit Town Hall podcast is brought to the good people by Budget Blinds.
Budget Blinds!
Hey, did you know Signature Series automated shades provide a safer environment for children and pets due to their cordless nature?
All hail those robot shade overlords.
Did you know that? I mean, is this new?
Well, not for us, but, in case you are listening now, perhaps you have started the subscription in election season to wisely listen to the dulcet tones of Nick and Jason, and you are unfamiliar with our robot shade overlords, the Signature Series automated shades. Now you know.
Now you know. Those programmable features, they allow you to use heating or cooling only when you need it to hit maximum energy efficiency. So if you're ready, Jason, to make your home a smart home,
you want to make it safer and more efficient,
go see our friends at Budget Blinds of Lee Summit. Tell them Jason and Nick sent you. Today's episode is also brought to the people by Prodeo Youth Center. Prodeo is presenting its annual Twisted Trivia event at 7 p.m. this Friday night at Paradise Park.
You betcha. Look, Nick, I'm going to be clear here. I would totally kill you at trivia. I am a trivia.
Well, we've been on a team before.
I know,
and we rocked.
We did, and I was way better than you even then. But
wow, harsh.
Nick is going to be there. I can't be because I have a prior commitment, so they're going to have to struggle in the competition without my lead this year. But this event serves as the major fundraiser for the community's only youth center. If you want more information on the event, you should visit prodeoyouthcenter.org and check it out. Hello again, and welcome to Lee Summit Town Hall, a weekly podcast about what you can do to make a difference. I'm Jason Norbury, and as always, I am joined by a man who thinks every Tuesday is super. It's Nick Parker, the publisher of Link to Lee Summit.
You know what makes it super? It's Super Taco Tuesday.
It's Taco Tuesday, and therefore, it's super. Every Tuesday is a Super Tuesday. And if you see, we are recording this on Super Tuesday for your listening pleasure on the Wednesday that follows. We're not going to talk about the various and sundry presidential preference primaries, but there we are. Link to Lee Summit is the source for all the news you need about our very fine city. And our unofficial sponsor today is, as it turns out, chicken tacos, which remain better than burgers. Chicken. Look, I'm going to make chicken jokes, and I'm going to make duck jokes for the next, weeks, honestly. I'm going to let you people figure it out, and we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, it'll be a couch session later. Hey, Jason, I want to do something a little bit different. I really only have one topic.
There's not a lot going on
There's
this
not
week.
A lot going on.
It's what we would call a chill week.
Well, that's true.
Summit.
And we're going to get to, on Friday, we'll get back to candidate interviews. We're going to have our second Board of Education candidate panel. We will have Kim Fritchie, Mark Leach, and Matt Newald on this Friday as we talk to them about their perspectives on the school district and kind of what they see they could bring to the table if they are elected for one of those 3 spots that are open. But today I want to kind of step back a little bit, Jason. Amongst all of this election talk, I want to talk about just being involved. We started the show as a way to be involved, as a way to help make an impact on your community. And one of the easiest ways is to show up and vote. And that's why we talk about election stuff. That's why we interview all the candidates, is so that people can be informed and they can go vote.
But being involved in elections is not the only way that you can be involved in your city, man.
Exactly. So that's why, a little note, when I was looking at the agenda for Tuesday night's city council meeting, there was one little thing on there that popped out, and I thought, hey, this is a good thing for us to talk about. On Tuesday, there were a handful of mayoral appointments to various city commissions on Tuesday night. And this is a fantastic way to get involved and learn a little bit about what happens in the city and how things work. And so I thought, Jason, you and I each serve on a commission. We were both appointed by mayors to do this thing. And so I thought maybe it'd be a good idea for us to just talk a little bit about all of there's a lot of different commissions covering different industries and niches around the community. So maybe this is something, other people, this is a great way that they can get in.
Right. I'll start with a personal anecdote that'll be good. So
story time with Uncle Jay.
Way back in 2008 or so, I ran for an elected office, State House of Representatives. And clearly I did not win. But after that, I was trying to figure out how one can get involved in that whole process. Well, What happened at that point, when that election was finished, after that, I kind of figured, well, I signed up. I I went on the website.
It's this easy, folks.
I went to the city's website and I put my name in. I said, and I'd be interested in serving on the following, and I don't know, I probably listed 3 of the boards and commissions that were available, one of which was Planning Commission. And no joke, it was right after Mayor Rhodes was elected. I got a contact from the city saying, "Hey, are you still interested in serving?" And I said yes, and that was it. And that was it. And I have found it to be, the point. I will maintain this facade as long as possible, that the reason I was running for an elected office was I wanted to make my community a better place in some fashion. And really what I found was that itch is much, much easier and honestly probably more effective to scratch serving on a board or a commission than it would have been had I gotten elected and had spent a couple of years in Jeff City.
I think you are absolutely correct. I mean, we've said it all along that you have more opportunity to affect change right here in your backyard than you do anywhere else. I have a similar, and this will come up later. In we have an interview, and the subject's going to come up. You'll see a recurring theme. When I came back to the Lee Summit area, and I moved to Lee Summit in 2010, I wanted to get involved. So I asked a few people, and I was immediately voluntold and roped into the Downtown Main Street organization. And then the same thing too. As I was on the city's website, I had heard there was an opening on a commission, and so I filled out the form. And I said, "Hey, I'm interested in that one." I probably checked a few other boxes. A few weeks later, I get a call. The mayor would like to put you on one of these. It wasn't the one I was hoping for, but I was put on to the Arts Council, and I'm glad I was. I've been able to learn about a whole different part of the city and be involved in some things that I never would have on my own. And it's easy. It's an easy thing to be involved in, and it lets you kind of just jump in.
And I can tell you, and I've actually heard this from our current mayor, and I think we've heard it actually from the former mayor as well, is that one of the hardest things they have to do is find all the people who are qualified and willing to serve on these boards and commissions. It's not like there's 1,000 people lining up to serve on the Board of Adjustments or the Historic Preservation Commission or the Public Safety Advisory Board.
The Aeronautics Commission.
These are appointments, and on some of these commissions that are coming up on Tuesday. Or honestly, for the Planning Commission or any of just there's like more than a dozen of them that the city has. And
I'll say, I'm now on my second term with the Arts Council, and I chair it now. And just starting this past month is the first time that we have had all 12 seats filled since I've been on.
Right, and so it
is kind of hard to find those, and it is a time commitment like everything else. But man, is it just a great way and pretty easy way to get involved.
Right, and honestly, like I said, I think that if you have that urge to do something that matters, that makes a difference, you don't have to run for city council, board of ed, any of these. There are gobs and gobs of like appointed or solid volunteer opportunities like that you can go and you can give that service. And here's the secret. Everybody's really thankful, but nobody really expects we have expectations of our city council people. It's like they have to go and they've got to be like prepared and they've got to read all this stuff and they've got to know all this, like all the things, and they get yelled at by people. Nobody yells at the Arts Council people. I mean, I hope. Anybody yell at you?
Well, just me.
Well, you get yelled at, but that's more of a personality problem than it is. But I mean, nobody calls and you don't get constituent phone calls where you're out there. And so you're not insulated from it. You hear it, but you also you're removed because you don't have that level of expectation. And city staff appreciate you. The electeds appreciate you. And when people stop and think about it, the regular old citizens.
Yeah, most of the questions you get are, what is it that you do? What does that group do? That's really the most question. Now, I've asked you, I think, before some of this, but you've been on Planning Commission for 10 years, more than 10 years now.
Almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years.
It's creeping right up, yeah.
What I guess maybe as we're trying to say, hey, here's a good reason to do it, but what are some things, why has it been good for you? What are some positives that you take out of this, almost 10 years of service on this thing? Why are you proud that you've done it? Are there things that have happened that you feel like you have made an impact or that has affected you?
Well, I mean, we play planning commission is one of the.
You're a weird board.
Well, and it's one of the more glamoury boards that's out there. I mean, because we do hold public hearings and we do things like that, and we don't have any budgetary authority.
You actually make a little bit of your decisions. You're more of a decision-making board rather than a recommending board.
Well, we are a recommending board, but we have a lot of play in that whole process. And so it's a little bit different, but I would say this is that, you can say this for the Arts Commission or the Aeronautics Commission or any of these others. There are going to be things that you work on that you make a difference on. If you're on the Human Relations Commission, you do the MLK event and you do other things that make a difference in the way the city functions. And so you get to see, and it may be small bits and pieces. It may be something really big. I mean, we've had some big stuff. I mean, the apartments that are all over the city now are things that we had a lot of conversations about, and we've talked about it on this podcast and others, but like we've had those same conversations at the planning commission level, and then they go to the city council, and then what we do influences what they do, but then you get to see it built, right? I mean, that's a thing that I get, right? I get to drive by and go, oh yeah, we involved in that, and we made these pushes to make it better in this way or change it in that way or what have you. And the same thing I would assume goes for a lot of these other things. You may be a board that deals with, making recommendations on changes to ordinances, or if you're on historic preservation, you may say, hey, we want to make sure that we protect these things. And you can drive by a house that's a 130-year-old house here in Lee Summit, or a structure, and you can say, hey, that exists still today in part because of the work that we were doing. Those are the kinds of things. And so you see that, and I don't know what the Board of Aeronautics Commissioners are going to see as the changes that they go through, but I'm sure that they do. And you can really see that stuff, and you get a different view. You look at the city differently when you're involved in those decisions.
I'll throw in that one of the things we're excited about on Arts Council right now is we are working on getting installed some public art. We're going to have some sculptures in downtown Lee Summit. So we did a national call for artists, and then we had some jury selection to choose from the submissions. And we're gonna have 6 places where there's gonna be new sculptures. They're up for a year, and then we'll do the whole process again and get new one in the following year. But it's gonna be really cool. I can't say what they are yet, guys. But I'm really, really, really excited. There's gonna be some cool stuff, and they will be up in April.
Right, and you guys get to go around, and your names aren't going to be on some plaque somewhere for all eternity, but you get to go and you see that. But you get to go and see that and go, hey, I helped do that, right?
Yeah.
That was my idea, or I helped shape it in this way, or heck, I voted for these, I voted and these were the 6 I wanted and they're out, right? I mean, you get that little piece of behind the scenes piece, and it feels good to do that. And, honestly, you're doing stuff to make the city better, which is a nice side effect of all this good stuff. So it's really cool.
So really what this all boils down to is if you feel like you want to get involved, you want to learn about some city processes, you just want to feel like, hey, you're giving back and helping make a difference, you can just go to the city's website and you can find the form and you can fill it out, and it's got a list, and you actually just check mark commissions that would interest you.
And there are links to the pages that tell you what their focuses are. So if it's not perfectly clear, but maybe something that triggers an interest that you have and you wanted to explore it, and you put that in there. And I know Mayor Baird takes this very seriously and tries to make sure that the appointments are well suited to what the boards need to be doing.
There you go. One more way to get involved and to affect a little change in our neighborhood. Jason, that's really the only big topic I had that I wanted to talk about today. So we're going to take a short break. We've got a couple of paying sponsors that want to give out a message. We're going to hear from them, and then we'll be back with an interview with Julie Cook, the events director for Downtown Main Street. She wants to talk a little bit about the Emerald Isle Parade that's in 2 weeks. And also, we're going to celebrate Julie takes the lead
in a very important contest.
In a very, very important contest.
And by the way, the other most important thing, she's also Team Taco.
And you will hear more about that in just a bit.
owner of Embrace the Grape and District 4 resident. Donnie Funk has my vote for City Council, and here's why. Donnie's time serving on the Planning Commission, his experience in the construction industry, and his work as a small business owner has given him the insight we need on City Council. This means that Donnie knows the questions to ask to get accountability for our tax dollars. Donnie Funk is a strong advocate for public safety and will work to ensure police and firefighters, along with all city employees, are well cared for. Join me in voting Funk for 4 on April 7th.
Have you ever wondered what factors go into creating your FICO score? If so, you're not alone. Score a Better Future is an exciting nationwide program created by FICO, the company which developed the FICO score used in over 90% of all credit granting decisions by lenders. In partnership with local nonprofit organizations, the next Score a Better Future financial community education event is coming to Kansas City. This free event will be held at the Bruce R. Watkins Cultural Heritage Center at 3700 Blue Parkway on March 19th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Hear from FICO experts, gain access to your FICO score for free, and get one-on-one counseling from local nonprofit credit counselors. Dinner is also free, and Congressman Emmanuel Cleaver from the 5th District will be speaking. Don't miss out. Spots will go fast, so go to www.fico.com/SABF to reserve your spot today. It's time to score a better future for you and your family.
We are here with Julie Cook, the Events and Promotions Director for Downtown Lee Summit Main Street.
Events Czar. Events Czar.
Events Czar.
New title.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Promotion and a raise. It's
Yeah.
Julie Cook. Hey, Donnie, you're welcome. All right, but with Downtown Main Street, and she is here today. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
I'm very happy.
Julie, I got big news.
You do?
Today, with this appearance, you're now the leader in the clubhouse.
Woohoo!
This is appearance number 6. So, Matt Sanning,
You are in a club of one.
Dave
Wow.
Eames, you guys are behind. Julie is now our favorite.
I'm taking
Here
the
we go.
crown.
Let's be honest. Julie's been our favorite the whole time.
Yeah, that's true.
We just happen to make, we have power to put these people on, and we have held some of them off,
Yeah.
including one we have started a spat with, and we have not let him on to defend his anti-taco heresy.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's why he's not coming on. I mean,
So,
because
Julie,
we don't want heathens that
Right.
choose
Julie
burgers.
is smart enough to know not to besmirch tacos.
Oh, I'm
on
team
these-
taco.
on these-
That's
So,
I look at that. We don't have to get to the question. She's
Yeah.
just out
She
there.
just knows.
I'm Team Taco.
and she has earned a 7th appearance already. So
There we
There
go.
all right, so let's talk a little bit. You're here to talk about what with us today?
I am here to talk about the Emerald Isle Parade, coming to you in downtown Lee Summit on Saturday, March 14th at noon.
All right, so
There we go.
it's a
That's the full pitch.
That's
That's
a-
the soundbite.
it's a parade.
Yes.
All right, so there are entrants in the parade.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
We're
how
gonna
many
have-
entrants do we have? Like, what do we got, and
Sure.
and what are we looking for?
Sure. So you're going to see a lot of very interesting floats. We have about 75 entries.
Oh, we had
Yeah.
a big jump
We got
because
a
just
bit
a
of a
week
boom.
ago we were a little lower than that.
Right. So if you're hearing this and you still want to see if you can get an entry in the parade, visit our website or call our office.
As soon as possible.
So this is
Yes,
Wednesday.
Don't make.
Is there a, I mean, so technically deadline is passed.
Yeah.
But maybe if they beg, right?
Right.
Maybe if they beg, you'll let some people in. But
Yeah,
but,
we're going to need you to beg.
Bring
Definitely.
tacos.
Yep. Yes.
Bring tacos.
Yeah.
But maybe
Right.
maybe Wednesday or Thursday you might allow a few more entries.
Right.
Because I know I get to be on the inside here. We do have a limit for a number of entries
Yes.
that we can have in there. So
We
you
have a
might
limit.
let the deadline slide a little bit to get a few more.
Right.
All right,
Exactly.
so do we have a theme this year? What are we doing?
We do. Our theme this year is There's No Place Like Home.
Wait, that sounds.
I've heard
like-
that before.
Does
I've
that
heard
sound
that.
familiar?
Are we going to get copyright infringed by this?
Ooh, yeah.
No, we're not.
Hopefully not. You guys are familiar with The Wizard of Oz.
I've never heard of it.
What?
Beloved 1939 classic.
Wow.
Whoa, she's coming with knowledge.
80 years. So
Yeah.
that is
Oh,
impressive,
yeah.
by the way.
I do my research before I come on these shows.
That's good. That's one up on the
By the way,
hosts,
you
so-
no one else has ever done research before this show before.
I'm
So
the only one. I like to be over prepared for my appearances. It's just how I roll.
This is why she's been on so often.
there we go.
All right, so we're honoring the movie, or are we just we kind of go in that direction?
Well, it's kind of you can take it however you want to interpret that theme. There's no place like home. You could go Wizard of Oz. It could be, there's no place like home, meaning Lee Summit is your hometown, and what you love about Lee Summit could be showcased in your float. So
Can we
it
put
could go
horses
multiple ways.
in little red sparkly suit shoes?
Ooh.
Well,
I
more
like that
importantly,
idea.
will you be wearing sparkly ruby shoes?
I think I have no choice but to do that now.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, we have you have set the spot. Now we have to go that route from here forward. So
Yes. I love that idea.
Do you own ruby red slippers?
I do not, honestly. But
okay,
it's
so
not too late to
if
get
you want to
some.
be in the
Does
parade,
Mr. Events Czar own ruby red slippers?
My husband?
Yeah.
He's the Mr. Event Czar,
Yes.
just so we're clear. He doesn't, but I'm sure he would wear some.
although as tall as he is, I'm going to bet that it's hard to find ruby red slippers in that
yeah,
size.
in the size 15 shoe.
Wow.
I feel like Mr. Events Czar, though, is one that would have kind of a crazy shoe collection. That wouldn't
One
surprise
would
me.
think, but man, not ruby red.
No,
Okay.
he's
Slippers,
too
no.
Iowa practical for that.
This
Yeah,
is
right.
true.
So so here's the key: if you want to be in the parade in these last couple days, you need to bring ruby red slippers
Mm-hmm.
and tacos
Yep.
to the event czar,
And a check payable to DLSMS. Yeah.
Sure, that too.
Exactly.
and then you can get in. That's the way to
Yep.
suck up
how you
to
have to do
get
it.
in the parade at the last minute. So
Mm-hmm.
most parades have a grand marshal.
Absolutely.
Do we get one this year?
We do. We are honoring Tom Lovell.
This another person I've never heard of, like Wizard of Oz, Tom Lovell, also born in 1939. No, that's harsh. He's not.
No.
Not quite yet.
Wow.
Ow.
Tom, I'm sorry.
No,
Right?
you're not.
Beloved member of our community.
Beloved member of our
Tom
community.
Lovell.
He has a building named after him now.
He does.
This is true.
The former Legacy Park Community Center is now
Yes.
the Tom Lovell Community Center.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna have him a whole parade.
Exactly. He'll be leading the parade. He's so excited. He'll have the whole family with him. And he's just really touched. And we're happy to be honoring him this year.
And just to add a little bit of background, Tom Lovell was the parks director. For those that don't know, he's parks director for almost 40 years.
Right.
See,
is
and you
very,
thought I was
very
making real
respons-
jokes about this whole 1939 business. I think he may have been parks director then.
Wow. I may have made that joke
Yeah, see,
before.
there we
so.
go.
Right.
But he built what is now a world class park system right here in our hometown. So this is a cool
Absolutely.
way for us to kind of help celebrate that,
Exactly.
and we can get away with it now.
Right.
All right, Julie. So we got the parade.
Mm-hmm.
It's all happening. This is something we've been doing for a number of years, so it's not
Yes.
like a big mystery to people, I don't think. But what else goes on in and around the parade that might be of interest to our residents and families?
Yeah. So it's definitely a family-friendly event. And so if you have young children, 8 and under, we do a gold coin hunt at 11:30 the morning of the parade. And that's set up over at Howard Station Park by the train depot. So kids get to hunt for gold coins and they get a little prize if they find one. So bring the family out for that. And then, of course, the parade kicks off at noon. So if you want to find a good spot along the route, along 3rd.
Yeah.
What is the route of the parade for
Sure.
people that haven't been there for the
Yeah.
last 15 years? And why is my question if you haven't, because it's a good time.
They're just now in the community. It's okay.
Okay, they just moved in.
Yes.
For those that just moved
Yeah.
to our glorious hometown,
Crawled out from under the rock and came to Lisa.
what is the parade route?
Sure. So we start at Lee Summit High School, and then we parade up Green Street to 3rd Street. We head west on 3rd to Southeast Main, and then we'll go past, Whistle Stop Coffee and Smoke Brewing Company, and that's then essentially the end of the parade route. So you have 1.3 miles of route.
Look at her with
land
more
on.
numbers.
Get your steps in.
She did some
Yep.
research.
We did some Google Maps searching. Yep.
Will you be marching the entire parade?
I personally will not. I'm the czar, if you will.
Czar.
But,
Embrace that title.
You're really kind of liking that, aren't you?
it has a good ring to it. Yeah. I will be at the staging lot where all the floats get lined up so that I can make sure everybody's in the right order.
You're working
Great.
hard behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
And
yeah.
is there any of the staff, other than, say, the co-host to my left here, that is will be out and trying to take all the public credit for it?
You know me so well.
I do. Nick will be standing at third and Douglas going, "It was me the whole time." So
That's not true. This is not true at all. I will be at third and green, yelling,
okay.
"This is me! This is me!"
Well, if he hasn't already stated, Nick Parker is our Emerald Isle Parade chair.
he tries to act modest
So-
and not take credit, but that's you
He
just
has
made
a
him
good
so.
Well, look,
you just made him
do
so.
do you want
happy.
do you want to know the story of how I ascended to this helm as committee chair?
Like most volunteer opportunities, you stayed around long enough.
I got an email from Ashley Knoll,
Yeah.
a few years ago that said, "You're the committee chair. Here's when you need to show up."
I don't buy that.
I am-
I don't believe it.
I am familiar with this this voluntelling that happens around there as
There
a whole.
was a big
So.
coronation ceremony, and that's how it was done.
But he doesn't get to be czar. That's you.
I think it was more like, "Here's an I'm sorry beer.
Yeah.
By the way, you still need to show up."
You are still doing this. Well, speaking of being voluntold or volunteering,
Yes.
if you want to volunteer to help, because we are here on this podcast in the end about what you can do to make a difference in our community, how
Right.
can one organize themselves to volunteer to help in this fantastic event?
Yeah, the volunteers make this event possible. So we are definitely in search of more help for that parade day. So on our website, downtownls.org, we have a volunteer opportunities page and a sign up. So if you want to help out at any point that day, I think we have shifts starting at 8:30 a.m. through 2 p.m. If you want to help us with crowd control or cleanup or at the staging lot where we're getting entries organized, we'd love to have your help.
I'm going to make a specific beg.
Okay.
If you feel like you want to volunteer, but you still want to be bossy, we really need help in the crowd control area, protecting people from running out in the streets.
Yep.
So if you feel like you want to help out, you want to do some good, give back and volunteer, but still be bossy pants, sign up for crowd control. We need some more people
in
there.
in
So-
college
Yes.
football, they call that the get back coach.
right.
The guy that stands on the sideline when the coach gets all mad and on the field, he goes, "Get back, get back." So
We need about 6 more get back coaches.
Yep.
So
there's the name.
if-
So we have created multiple positions. We promoted you to czar, and we
Yeah.
have created the position of get back coach.
I love it.
You're welcome, Julie Cook. I have. So give us your pitch, though. Jason and I have talked about downtown a lot on the show, about how much it means to us and why we do it. But what's your pitch? Maybe why people should give some time. It's a nonprofit, so they should give you money too. But
Right.
why this is a good volunteer opportunity, a good thing. To give
Why
back
should
to the
people come
community.
serve the czar?
Why should you serve the czar? Yeah. I mean, our organization plans over 100 events for the community each year that are free. And I think that just adds to the overall joy of living in Lee Summit. And so our organization is pretty much completely volunteer run. I mean, that's how we do 100 events each year, is because we have just amazing community support and volunteers that help us put these events on. So we wouldn't be able to do what we do without people like Nick and Jason and other volunteers that help us out along the way. So we really appreciate it, and we wouldn't be doing a parade or downtown days or music in the park or any of that without volunteer help.
See how I set her up to compliment us.
Just
That
like
was
send the
very nice.
praise back.
That's why she's the czar.
That's true. But we always say that downtown Lee Summit is literally the picture on all the brochures.
Yep.
For our
Yeah.
community.
And
So
these
this is a
and these
great way to
parades and these
keep it
events
the way.
are some of the ones that appear on that there. Well, Julie, thank you for taking time. So just a cat. Saturday the 14th. Parade is at noon. We have the coin crawl or coin find
Coin
hunt.
hunt,
Coin
yeah.
hunt.
Wow,
At 11:30.
you managed to get that wrong twice in a row.
Coin crawl.
we strive for excellence in our wrongness around here.
Speaking of crawl, if the parade is very family friendly, but if you want to go out and have some adult fun afterward, there is something afterward in the district.
Immediately following the parade is the Emerald Isle Pub Crawl. So if you want to get a lanyard or a t-shirt or just stick around for a few drinks after the parade, all of the downtown bars and restaurants are participating in that. So stick
there are
around.
drink specials and amazing people watching opportunities. To be
Oh,
honest.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
the people
It's a
watching
good time.
is actually becoming a good sport for,
Yes,
for the pub crawls.
it is fantastic. So, well, Julie, thank you for taking time to come and talk with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we will allow you to go back to your Tsarist regime, and good luck with this event and all the others.
And
that you
celebrate
put
number
forth.
6.
Yes,
Thank you
The
so
leader in the
much.
clubhouse.
Number 6. Thanks,
good.
Julie.
Today's episode of the Lee Summit Town Hall podcast is brought to the people by our friends at Shred KC. Jason, if you're looking to change, to start living that healthy lifestyle, these are the guys for you.
They are, and they're going to do it. They're going to help you adopt those healthy lifestyles, get those new habits, get those things going without all that pesky like shame or any of that stuff that goes on. It's a positive, supportive environment to help you get to the goals that you want to have so that you feel the best that you can feel.
Real goals, real plans, none of that fad stuff. They're not giving you the fad diets. They're not giving you the crazy new fad workout. These are real plans that are going to help you get there, whether it's group classes or personal training. This is the gym for you. Head on down on 3rd Street. See our friends at Shred KC. You have been listening to Lee Summit Town Hall, a Link to Lee Summit podcast with host Nick Parker, a proud member of the Fredcast Network. You can subscribe to this podcast on most podcast apps and catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for all of the news, analysis, and conversations on the Lee Summit community. Connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Link to Lee Summit or on Twitter at LS Town Hall.